Don't forget to subscribe, add your comments, and share your memories. If you have any old VHS tapes or even DVD to dispose, let me know. Drop me an email on seaeagle666@gmail.com.
Sydney, the Rabbitohs.
So there's the South Sydney team coming onto the field, and there's the back line, Maven and Tuck. Well, watch that fellow too, Tuck. Well, he's built like a tree trunk, those legs, and they'll certainly give Canterbury plenty to worry about this afternoon in those forwards. Davidson and Chisholm in the second row. Boyle and Roberts have been on the boil in recent weeks, and Andrews at lock forward, one of the most underrated players in the game. And of course their trump card, well, whenever it comes to strong, tough, hard forward battles, Mario Fanick gets tougher. He's a tough, big match performer, and he'll be really looking forward to producing the goods this afternoon.
They hail from the southwest of Sydney. Here are the Bulldogs of Canterbury.
And there's the Canterbury back line, and as you'll notice, no Mortimer's in the centre, but Steve Mortimer in there at halfback, and his combination with Terry Lamb this afternoon might well be the key to the match. And the forward pack from Canterbury, no place for Paul Dunn again in this forward pack. Jarvis and Tunks the front rowers, and those outstanding back rowers, Gillespie, Folkes and Langmack, and Warren Ryan, of course, the coach. The trump card, well, we talked about Mario Fanick and his possible influence. Well, Steve Mortimer does exactly the same with Canterbury. When they played Parramatta a few weeks ago, they looked like a ship without a rudder, but when Mortimer came back against Manly, they were superb. Referee for this afternoon's fixture is Mick Stone, and we're about to see the kick-off as it's Coleman who starts the game off. And in the opening stanza of the match, we're going to see Canterbury defending the northern end of the match. And Potter almost made a meal of that. He didn't expect to get it either. It wasn't really his fault, as Campbell runs it back towards the quarter line. South Sydney defending the southern end. And a few people venturing across to the hill, but we had a lot of rain early on today here at Redfern Oval. And in fact, Sydney over the last 24 hours or so has received quite a deal of rain. And it's started to dry out a little bit over the last hour, so I think a few of the patrons have ventured across to the hillside of the ground to watch what should be an outstanding match. What a great kick from Blake, and that'll boost his confidence at fullback. But let's go down and just find out what the conditions are really like down on the ground, and go down to Ian Hansen.
Thank you, David Morrow. And actually, all things being equal, David, the ground is in pretty good condition here. There is a one patch on the city end of the field, which is somewhat chopped up, and there's what wind there is favouring South Sydney.
So Canterbury with the ball, and that's Terry Lamb who's tackled, only about 13 metres out from his own goal post. Bugden at dummy half, and that's Jarvis. Pat Jarvis having only his second match for Canterbury. Had a blinder a fortnight ago against Manly, and in fact won the Players Award as Tunks takes it up, the other prop forward, and a good run from Tunks. I think, Steve, he'd be the first forward chosen on New South Wales State of Origin teams the way he's been playing this year.
He certainly would be, David. He'd be my team at all.
Oh, and now we've seen a kick charge down, and Potter's managed to dive on it and reclaim it with 6 to go for Canterbury. But that was touch and go as Chisholm really did come through quickly on Andrew Farrer's attempted kick.
Certainly good work by Chisholm there, and South Sydney, well, they're really keyed up for this one. But it's expected, David. The forward clash today, oh boy, you'll get your money's worth.
Farrer tackled on the Canterbury quarter line. As they're taking it ahead now through Gillespie. He's going to get up and play it a few metres out from his own quarter line as it's Bugden at dummy half. Taking the ball up again as Jarvis as he came onto that short pass. He gained a good 10 or 12 metres. Last tackle against Canterbury. It's 0-0 in the opening minutes of the match at Redfern, as now getting his kick in as Lamb. It's bouncing down towards Blake, down on his own quarter line. And the South Sydney fullback gathers the ball in and runs it back. A good straight line of Canterbury up there. And they've got the ball 12 metres their own side of halfway. And there's Steve Maven. Look at that bend as he gets the ball back to the halfway. And no wonder he's got some raps on him. Any man who can fend like that's always difficult to tackle. Coleman's going to kick. Penalty against Canterbury up inside the 5 metres.
Well, both sides very keen. There's no two ways about it. That really was good play by this young centre, Steve Maven.
South Sydney with the ball. Take it down the centre is Davidson, and look at that tackle. Folkes and Tunks up there, just outside the Canterbury quarter line. From dummy half goes Fennick, and Fennick gets to within 18 metres of this Canterbury line. Davidson to dummy half again. He'll send it back the short side as it goes to Coleman, and Coleman's kick high in the air for the corner. Back there is O'Brien. It's loose. Stacks on the ball. It's a try. It's a try. Chisholm has scored it. No, the referee said it's come off the hands of the winger in Harrington and gone forward. On comes the touch judge.
Well, this was great football, David. Just unfortunate there, and they're using this kicking ploy to perfection here. Potter, well, a little bit out of position. Now, watch this carefully, and I think you'll find it's in South Sydney. Yes, the winger Harrington stating that he did get the man fingers to the ball.
Dummy half is O'Brien. It's gone from Mortimer. Away it goes to Folkes. Folkes is easily wrapped up there by Neville, just inside South Sydney's territory. Now that taking it up is Gillespie, but there's a penalty, and it's against South Sydney, and it's against the markers. Not marking correctly, marking side by side instead of directly behind each other.
Just a little bit over-eager there, South Sydney, but that's been their key so far. They're hassling this Canterbury side. And we saw in that previous play there, David, that Steve Mortimer, the skipper, he's got to get in there first man. It's no good trying to play very tight to the ruck. They've got to play it out wide, because this South Sydney pack, they're really crunching.
Canterbury taking the ball up to the South Sydney quarter line. Gillespie at dummy half, runs it away himself. He gains another couple of metres. He's only 18 metres out from South Sydney's line. Canterbury on the attack. It was almost a penalty. Bugged away it goes from Mortimer. Now it goes to Lamb. Lamb ducks back on the inside. He's taken there in good defence by Chisholm. Also across there is Boyle. And the other prop forward, Ian Roberts, is heavily involved as well. Short side. It goes from Bugden to Tunks. And I don't think that pass was originally intended for Tunks, but he got it anyway. Bugden a dummy half again. Open side. No, they'll go the short side through Langmack. There was no room to utilise on that side, but it's the last tackle. Mortimer's got it. He'll put the kick up. No, away it goes. Lamb will put the kick onto the ground. It goes into the end goal area. Blake's back there to clean it up. Can get into the field of play. Yes, he's away from one. Can he get down into the open space? He's only got Potter to beat. He sent the pass back to Harrington. Harrington up to the halfway line. He's got his pass back to Tuckle, and Tuckle's taken in good Canterbury cover. Mortimer across there. As South's run it back to the halfway line, and Maven continues the movement forward. He's got it a few metres inside Canterbury's territory. Coleman in a dummy half. Gee, that was good football from Blake as Neville gets it. Now it comes across to Andrews. He's away from one. He gets his pass back on the inside to Neville, and Neville's got it 8 metres inside Canterbury's territory as the pass comes away now to Coleman. Good pass away. Roberts up to the quarter line. Looking on the inside. He can't offload. He should have looked on the outside. Neville a dummy half. He plays it forward. It goes to Coleman. It gets away now towards Boyle. Now it goes to Davidson. Davidson back over that quarter line again. Maven with the ball. He can't offload though. Last tackle against South Sydney. Bennett. It goes to Coleman. Coleman's got a bit of support. The grubber kick going through is Harrington, and Harrington scores. Super try from South Sydney. They completely rattled Canterbury, and they lead 4-0.
Brilliant try, David. You will not see better than that. That all started from within their own in-goal area. Great play by the full-back. This was champagne. Oh, believe you me, they call this Rabbitoh's squad the champagne. This is beautiful. Now watch Coleman push the ball through. And there you see the wingman coming right through. No doubt about it, he was onside. Tremendous play. Head-on shot. Look at Coleman there. Look as though the ball's going out wide. Now this was good play by the halfback. It was a quick play of the ball that created the overlap, and this wingman knew exactly where it was going to go.
Fantastic try to Ross Harrington, the Redfern Express. The #1 try for the year for Ross Harrington, and the way they're playing, there could be more to come.
The big thing about that movement from South Sydney, really, it started down in the in-goal area when they fielded Terry Lamb's kick, and they rattled South Sydney. Blake made the big break. He had support up to the halfway, and then they went down the centre, across field, and they switched it quickly back the other side, and Roberts heavily involved again with that quick play of the ball. Good football.
It was a beautiful pass by Coleman that sent Roberts through. In fact, the referee was looking towards giving a penalty because Bugden held on to Davidson, who was a support player.
Here's Andrews, the shot at goal. It doesn't look much better than the first attempt, and he's missed it. So South Sydney remain in front after just 20 minutes play, halfway through the first half. It's South Sydney 4, Canterbury Bankstown 0. Farah has the ball a few metres inside South Sydney's territory. Now taking it up is Gillespie. Gillespie's got out of a couple of would-be defenders. Now comes across from Mortimer, away it goes to Lamb, and it goes to Langmack, back it goes to Lamb, and coming onto the ball is Hagan, and he's taken in good defence by Maven. 10 metres out from the South Sydney quarter line. Lamb at dummy half, it's with Mortimer. Mortimer tries that little grubber kick through. Was he impeded? Yes, says the referee. And he's given Roberts 5 in the sin bin for it as well. That was magnificent thinking from Steve Mortimer. If you have a look at this again, watch where the referee's position and watch where Steve Mortimer kicks the ball. He almost kicks it directly at the referee. Watch this.
Well, this is the man that's thinking all the time. He's a brilliant player. There's no doubt about it. Roberts said, "You're not getting past me." He can try all he wants, and there you saw him appealing to the referee, and referee Mick Stone said, "I'm having none of it. And in fact, I'm having none of you. Take 5, boy."
So here's Terry Lamb with the chance to bring it back to just 4-2, just outside the quarter line, about 20 metres in from the grandstand touchline. So it's not a difficult kick, but remember this ball's a little bit heavy. Terry Lamb, though, a very accurate goal kicker, moving in. There's the kick. It looks good off the boot. It's magnificent. It's 2 points to Canterbury. There's 14 minutes remaining in the first half, and Canterbury are trailing. South Sydney leading Canterbury by 4 points to 2.
Well, they certainly needed that, and Warren Ryan, a very rare smile, and he realises that they really haven't held his possession. A little bit of, well, a few mistakes creeping into their game, and I think it's up to their skipper now, and I'm sure the message has gone out. Let's just play, grind it through, but let's play the ball a little bit wider. No point in running into the likes of Boyle and Fenwick.
Ian Roberts in the sin bin for 5 minutes. I'm just wondering. Well, there's the tackling count at the moment, and look at that. Souths have had to do 80 tackles compared to Canterbury's 57. And Roberts and Andrews and Boyle very heavily involved, and Roberts in the sin bin for 5 minutes. So I'm wondering whether Canterbury might run it down the middle for a few minutes. Farah's out of one. Farah up to the halfway. He's over the halfway. He's got Campbell in support. Back it goes to Hagan. Hagan over the quarter line. He's got Campbell. Oh, the pass has gone forward and across the touchline. Hard luck for Canterbury, but brilliant football initiated by Andrew Farah.
Well, you can stick it, David, as far as I'm concerned, in regards to playing in the forwards when you've got players like this. Now, this was good play by Farah. Now, Campbell did the right thing. Now, watch Hagan go through. Now, Campbell's screaming for it. But it's too late, and it's an awkward one.
It was forward and never close, but they've won one against the head, and Mortimer's ducked round the open side, and he's only 8 metres out. Langmack, it goes to Lamb, he cuts out Potter, it's on to Farah, and Farah back on the inside, it goes to Hagan, he almost tripped over back to the backer upper of Lamb, and Lamb's only 12 metres out. Potter into dummy half, open side he goes. Is he going to hold it up? Jarvis down the centre, and Jarvis has crashed into the ground, only 5 metres out. Bugden, Mortimer, away it comes now to Langmack, back on the inside is Tunks. Tunks shoves the ball back to Langmack. Langmack on his own. Langmack's almost there. He's only centimetres away. Canterbury on the attack at the moment. Bugden moves into dummy half. Langmack struggling, plays it. It goes to Lamb. Lamb, the pass out wide comes to Hagan. And what a tackle from Jason Moon. Oh, what a tackle.
Talk about reading the play. 100% goes to that fella Jason Moon. He knew that the ball, watch the long ball here. Bye-bye, Wooshka. Whoa-ho. Well, you don't see that too often, David. A Canterbury side, that's twice that they've been caught on the last tackle.
It's the first handover of the match. It's one of the first handovers we've seen on Saturday football this year. As it's across to Boyle, and Boyle's away from one, and that's unusual. He got through a Gillespie tackle. Put that one down on the record books. You'll only see it happen once or twice a season. As Chisholm has it, and Chisholm trying to link up back on the inside is going to be tackled just outside that quarter line. South Sydney leading 4-2. How long can these forwards keep it up? As it goes now to Coleman, and Coleman's pass is loose on the ground, stacks on the mill, it's still loose, Tuckmore picks it up, 6 to go, says the referee, and South Sydney have got it, only 13 metres out, into dummy half is Fenwick, as it comes to Coleman, and now with Maven, and Maven offloads the pass, it's gone through the hands of Neville to Moon, and Moon runs it back on the inside. He's 15 metres, 16 metres out from that Canterbury line. Coleman holds the pass up at Davidson, and Davidson's met in solid Canterbury defence. Only 13 metres away from the Canterbury goalpost, and this will be a penalty. And that's stupid. He's called Hill. There's nothing else.
Well, there's C. Jarvis, and I think he's been conned a bit here. Now, that's the sort of tackling that we've seen this first half. Oh, boy, I'm glad I'm up here, David. And there you see, I think there's a little bit of play acting on both sides there. Well, David, I reckon this Canterbury side think they're at the zoo, because every time they turn, they seem to have a rabbit stuck on their back. Oh, unbelievable pressure by this young Rabbitoh side.
Here comes Andrews. There's the kick, and he's got one. The South Sydney fans are delighted. And on the well, about 5 minutes to go until half-time, South Sydney have forged ahead by 4 points. South Sydney leading Canterbury by 6 points to 2. Let's go down to the sideline. Ian Hansen.
David, how often in the last 3 years since Canterbury been on top of this Winfield Cup in the last couple of years, have you seen them go backwards so often? Full marks to South. They're thriving on this tough, hard football. And I reckon they'll come out in the second half and give it to them again.
Just inside Canterbury's territory, the same way goes Coleman. His pass goes out towards Harrington, and he's only ankle tapped in desperation there by O'Brien. 10 metres inside Canterbury's territory. Last tackle just about against South Sydney as Coleman puts that ball high in the air. It's bouncing around. Campbell has to virtually dive on that in the end as it got away from him. Half-time siren goes in the back play. It goes away now to Farah, and Farah's going to use his experience and just going to take that tackle. Not going to give South the chance of scoring again before half-time. And a standing ovation from the South Sydney fans in the Grand Stand. They really are rising to the occasion and giving them a magnificent hand, because they really have deserved it. As this courageous South Sydney team leaves the field at half-time, they lead Canterbury Bankstown 6 points to 2. Harrington scored the try. And there's the kick-off for the second half, and South Sydney defending the northern end of the field in the second half as Steve Maven there, centre three-quarter, runs it back towards the quarter line. There has been one change out on the field in the Canterbury lineup. I can't see any out there at South Sydney. So let's go down to the sideline and get what's happened at the half-time break from Ian Hansen.
Yes, David, one change in the Canterbury Bankstown lineup. Winger Steve O'Brien is off the field with a stress fracture of the back. Nothing too serious. It might sound serious, but it's not. It's an injury he's had for some time. He injured it in the first half. He's been replaced by Glenn Fremdo, a good up-and-coming young player who won't let them down. Canterbury coach Warren Ryan wants his players to stop the South's attackers running from dummy half and capitalise on their kicking game and to block those gaps. And in the South Sydney room, George Pickens was delighted with the way Souths are playing, and he wants them to keep it up, keep the big hits up, and keep running that ball forward.
And there's Steve Folkes, who's been replaced by Paul Dunn, the kangaroo prop, who was banished to reserve grade a fortnight ago. Of course, they had the bye last week. Well, Folkes got through 17 tackles, and well, he only missed a couple, so unless he's got a slight injury.
Well, I don't think it's a matter of that, David. I think Warren Ryan realises that he needs a player out there that can create a gap. It's been very difficult to find those open spaces. This Rabbitoh defence has been superb, and that's why we haven't seen the likes of Terry Lamb. He's had nothing to support because there's been no breaks.
And now Ball with the ball, that panic pass, well picked up there by Blake. He's having a huge game for Souths, and look at that, follows it up with a superb kick. This is vintage Phil Blake we're watching this afternoon. Now that very heavy hit we saw on Les Davidson, you saw it just then in replay. Even though it looked as if Davidson came off best, he's down in the back play holding his ribs. It wasn't a bad kick from Blake, was it, after the difficult job he was given in trying to handle that pass?
Well, the thing is, David, is Johnny on the spot. He's controlling it out there.
Mortimer, the pass goes away to Lamb, lands up to the halfway line. Quickly gets up, plays the ball. Mortimer goes the blind side. Mortimer down towards the quarter line, back on the inside. He throws the pass, it's gone back to Potter. Potter's got support in Dunn, but can't get his pass away. He's 30 metres out. The ball comes the same way. It goes to Tunks. Now it goes back to Gillespie. Ducks under one, ducks under another. He's only 18 metres away from that South Sydney line. Langmack into dummy half. They send it the open side. It's with Mortimer again. Away it goes out towards Hagan. His long pass goes to Farah. Farah's up to the quarter line. Farah trying to position the winger. He can't do so. He's only 13 metres away though. Sending the ball back the open side. Hagan to Dunn. Dunn goes crashing down the centre of the ruck. He's held up in tackle number 5 as Bugden moves into dummy half. It goes the blind side. It goes to Mortimer. Mortimer puts the kick into the in-goal area. And picking it up there is Jason Moon, and he's held up in the in-goal. And play will restart with the line dropout. And that's been the best period of Canterbury play since the match started. And Fenwick's coming back onto the sideline.
Well, here's Fenwick coming on, and there's the touch judge run on. Now, this is a beautiful kick by Mortimer. But look at the position of this wingman, Jason Moon. He's had a top game.
So they continue the pressure. Dunn goes ahead. And Dunn's only about 2 or 3 metres out from this South Sydney line. Bugden into dummy half. Bugden dummies and goes on his own like a ferret. He's almost there. Dunn sends it away short side. Langmack throws the dummy, tries the little pirouette. But there, the 2 second rowers, Chisholm and Davidson, hold him up. Only 4 metres away. It's Gillespie who sends it away to Mortimer. Now it goes to Lamb. Lamb puts the grubber kick through. It's loose in the end goal. It's picked up by Blake. Blake trying to get the ball back into the field of play. Can he? No! Good football from Blake. Good football from Canterbury. And this game hasn't stopped since Mick Stone said play at 3 o'clock.
Boy, what a great game indeed, David. And good play by the full-back. This is all action. Beautiful kick by Lamb. Now this can go anywhere. But full credit to this guy, the former Manly star. He's trying, it wasn't through like a try and he didn't get out. He pushes up the fullback. And in he goes again. Potter tries to get in the second time.
So Canterbury have got the ball after the line drop out, and it's Hagan. Hagan is tackled. Only about 34 metres away from the South's line as Dunn grabs it, and Dunn takes it ahead. And he's almost down to the quarter line. In a dummy half as Bugden, he sends it away the open side. It goes to Mortimer to Tunks. Tunks sends it back. This is this famous work move of Canterbury. Can it come off this time? No! What a hit from Davidson on Langmack. He got his pass away. Hagan's got the ball, and he and Tunks.
Oh, well, that's stupid. Davidson has just, well, he's just given Langmack the best right hook. Langmack's down.
And Dunn's appealing to the touch judge about it. So something's gone on in the back play as Davidson has hit Langmack. Langmack back on his feet. The ball's been lost by Souths, and Andrews has hammered into the deck. And Paul Dunn said something to Les Davidson after the incident as well, as the ball's gone out towards Moon. Moon up over the halfway, and Moon's barreled by Gillespie. 12 metres inside Canterbury's territory. It's South Sydney on the attack, and it's Maven. Maven's got within 30 metres of the line. Ian Hansen would have had a good look at that right hook thrown by Davidson down on the sideline. Hanso.
Yeah, it was a real tee-shot with David. Les Davidson and Paul Langmack, Kangaroo Tour mates. No love lost there.
So Steve Mortimer with the ball at the moment, and back on the inside comes Jarvis. 10 metres out from the quarter line. Down Canterbury's end of the park as Bugden sends it the same way. It's picked up by Langmack, and Langmack steps, comes back in amongst the forwards. Tackle number 5 against Canterbury. They're going to have to kick here as Bugden sends it away. It goes to Tunks, and Tunks' kick is charged down. Stacks on the mill. South Sydney have got it. South Sydney will get up and play it through Boyle. And Boyle rubbing his head. Chisholm's down on the ground injured. I think he got an accidental knee in the head as both Bugden and Boyle were going in for the ball while it was loose on the ground.
There's a lot of accidents going out there, David. Believe you me, these players, when they trudge themselves off the end of this game, they'll have earned their money, that's for sure.
Souths have registered 201 tackles. What a performance.
Well, it's a performance, David, that their coach, George Piggins, wanted. They've wasted possession. When I say wasted, they've utilised it, kicking on the second and third tackle and playing in their quarter.
Well, does it mean because they've had so much tackling to do, or they've done so many, that they might tire in this last 20 minutes?
There's still plenty of minutes left in this game.
And they're only 4 points the margin as Davidson down the centre. It goes towards Andrews. He's on the quarter line, and he's wrapped up only 18 metres out now from the Canterbury line. Going from dummy half as Fenwick. Fenwick back on the inside. He got it away towards Neville. Neville steps. Good run from the 5'8". 10 metres out from that Canterbury line. Coleman moves into dummy half. Coleman has an attempted shot at field goal. I think he's got it. Let's wait for the referee. It's there.
That was great thinking by the little halfback. That's the extra point. No point in going ferreting down into the quarter line without coming away with anything, and that 1 point could be vital. Now just watch this. Good thinking. He hadn't a lot of room. It's a little molly grubbler, but it's there. They all count.
South Sydney on the attack. They've got to within 18 metres of the line. South Sydney, only 2 tackles gone so far as Roberts sends it away to Boyle, and Boyle's crashed into the ground there by Jarvis. Langmack the marker, Coleman a dummy half. It goes back the other side. Now an attempted shot from Blake, and Blake's put it over. Another field goal. Another point to South Sydney, and South Sydney lead by 8 points to 2.
Great play by the Rabbitohs. Good tactical thinking. Get plenty of time at Blake, and no wonder he has a smile on his face. He fully deserves it. He's had a great game. Look at the space he gave himself. There's not a Canterbury player within Cooey, and right over the black guy.
I think that's Jarvis coming off. Alan Nelson, is it coming? No, it should say Alan Nelson. Mark Sargent coming on for Canterbury. Alan Nelson plays for Souths.
Well, another tight head there by Canterbury. I think that's a second in the game, and he couldn't have come at a more valuable time.
Campbell's tackle, 10 metres inside South Sydney's territory. 11 minutes to go in the game. Taking the ball up as Sargent, and Sargent is wrapped up. Only about 35 metres out from the centre of the South Sydney goalpost. Into dummy half as Mortimer. Mortimer goes down the open side. He got a pass away to Dunn, who had to wait for it. He did pretty well to collect it in the end. And he's wrapped up 32 metres away. Open side, it comes from Mortimer. It goes to Langmack. Back it goes to Hagan. Throws the dummy. He's got Lamb in support. Lamb will score. Terry Lamb's in. Try.
Well, it's been the break they've been waiting for. We've said it all through the game. Terry Lamb, the sleeper. Well, he was wide awake there. And if you sat at home there with a draw on your footy tap card, yes, beware of the dogs, it says. And you can't afford to go asleep. Now watch this. The once that they went through, it's the run through here. Now watch the centre. Hagan does the dummy, goes through, and there he goes. Terry Lamb, the best support player in the world. A little bit like Georgie Best of soccer. He can be quiet for so many minutes and then explodes. Johnny on the spot, different angle, front on. Watch Hagan, throws the dummy, gets through Fenwick, and races through. He knows what it's going to do happen. He knows that Lamb's there, didn't have to shout. And boy, oh boy, we've still got a great game. 11 minutes to go.
5th try of the season to Terry Lamb, and he's about to attempt this conversion to make it 8-all. And what a game.
What a game of rugby league this is. The Bulldogs, top stuff from Hagan, a man who was dropped only a couple of weeks ago, got a reprieve, had an outstanding game that day with Andrew Farrer against Manly Warringah. And this afternoon, he's had a pretty fair game as well. It's been a tussle, and Terry Lamb, he missed one from here, don't forget, only, quarter of an hour or so ago, a penalty goal which hit the uprights, and that could well be in the back of his mind as he moves in to try and make it 8-all. And he's hit the upright again! You wouldn't believe it! He's done it twice in the afternoon from almost exactly the same spot. He's hit the left upright.
Well, that is unbelievable. The South fans will climb that post and kiss the spot. And why not? As I mentioned to Hanso, they don't deserve to lose. Canterbury could be lucky to get this away with a draw.
Couple of replacements in the South Sydney side. Let's go down to Ian Hansen.
Yeah, thanks very much, David. There's 2 changes down here. Young Ellison's on for Darryl Neville at 5'8", and Wayne Chisholm's done his arm, and he's been replaced by a big lanky Paul Roberts, one of the stars of the reserve grade team.
The umbrellas go up on the far side, but no one's leaving the ground. No one minds getting wet when they're watching a game like this, and that's a good-looking kick. It's bouncing end over end, and finds touch, just 4 metres out from the corner post.
And who else but this little fella, the little sergeant, Coleman. Look at him getting onto his players. He gets in there, kicks it. No sooner has he got it down, the kick out, he's getting onto his players, shouting, come on, let's get down there.
4 minutes left in the match as Mortimer goes the blind side and sends a hurried pass away to Campbell. Campbell did pretty well to hold on to that. It goes back to the other general, Mortimer. Now it's with Dunn. Dunn gets the pass out towards the Hagan. Hagan get a pass away, and they're trying to get it back towards that quarter line through Frendo as he plays the ball. It's desperate time now as far as the Bulldogs are concerned. Potter, and Potter's held up on the quarter line. It's South Sydney 8, Canterbury 6. Taking the ball down the centre is Sargent, and Sargent trying to get rid of the ball, can't do so. He's 10 metres out from his own quarter line. Bugden, the pass comes away now to Dunn. He offloads it in turn. It's gone from Hagan to Langmack, and he got a ball out wide towards Farah. Farah holds the ball up on the legs, not to throw the pass, and he's gone without it. He's lost it, and South Sydney have got it. 3.5 minutes left in the match. Time off.
Well, this probably was their last chance. They've got to gamble, get the ball out wide, and Farah, I thought, should have fed his wingman. Once again, we saw Moon coming in and taking him out.
And there's the lower grade scores, both South Sydney's way today. They defeated Canterbury 18-8 after coming from behind. They scored 2 converted tries in the last few minutes in under 23s, and South's also won reserves 18 points to 10. So they look as if they're set now for the trifecta. Just 3 minutes left in the match. Last tackle against South Sydney. Going the blind side is Paul Roberts. Paul Roberts, the pass comes from Boyle to Coleman. Coleman puts that kick in. It's a wobbly one going across the open side of the field. It's picked up by Campbell, and Campbell's going to be tackled on his own quarter line. Now what can Canterbury do? They need to go 70 metres with the ball. As it comes across to Hagan, the long pass comes out towards Farah, who can't handle it, but Frendo can. Frendo's up over the quarter line.
Well, it's going to take a tremendous individual effort, David, to get Canterbury out of this one.
Blindside it goes now to Langmack, throws the dummy. Then he got a pass away. It's knocked on there by Hagan. Picked up though by Gillespie, and the referee agrees. A knock on, and that's Canterbury's last chance. The points will go South Sydney's way now.
Well, it's a desperation area. They've got to keep it alive here, but look at this tenacious tackling. Now, that's a little knock-on, no doubt about it.
Ball's into that scrum. It's coming out South's way, but I think you'll find there, where it is. Mortimer's got it, I think. Yes, Mortimer's got it, and Mortimer goes the open side, and now it's going to be a penalty. The referee has ruled that Mortimer had to get up and play the ball.
But why? He was taking the ball out of the scrum. He said he didn't knock on. Who tackled him? There was a scrum there. Was it the prop that put his hand on it?
They still had to go 70 metres. South Sydney, who's about to come in and have the shot at goal. There it is. It looks pretty good off the boot. He's got it. A great kick from the replacement Ellison, who took over the goal-kicking duties from Michael Andrews, and that's put away the Vars's time now. South Sydney 10, Canterbury Bankstown 6. It's been a magnificent game of rugby league, but the best side is going to get the 2 Winfield Cup competition points.
And they fully deserve it, David. A great team effort, and congratulations to their coach, George Biggins. He spotted the downfall. Oh, no!
Now Frendo's got it. Now Canterbury are going to get one last opportunity. In fact, there goes the siren. The referee says it's all over. It's all over. South Sydney have defeated Canterbury by 10 points to 6. The try scorer was their winger, Ross Harrington. They've got 1 goal kicked by Michael Andrews, a field goal to Coleman, a field goal to Blake, and a penalty goal kicked by Ellison, the replacement 5'8". For Canterbury Bankstown, the try was scored by Terry Lamb. He also kicked the goal. South Sydney 10, defeating Canterbury Bankstown 6. And listen to the crowd roar. The crowd really get behind South Sydney. When South Sydney start going well, normally rugby league goes well, they've got a fanatical support. And these supporters, and rightly so, giving them a standing ovation like they did at half-time. Magnificent performance from the Rabbitohs.